was never taught how to have an orgasm. I didn't know that I needed clitoral stimulation to have an orgasm. I always thought an orgasm was like P in the V action. Okay, that's how I thought I was gonna orgasm. Nobody ever told me otherwise. Okay, how fucked up is that? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I've been on here. If you have seen my last community post, I believe it was my last one, I gave you a little bit of a glimpse into our work life in the summer, and it can be a little bit hectic. So I've had to take a step back from YouTube for the last couple of weeks and just work my ass off doing other things. Mostly I Netflix and chill at night, not the kind of Netflix and chill you're thinking of. Mostly involves me by myself, Netflix, and a lot of food, and then passing out. That's been my life for the past few weeks, but I'm slowly getting out of it. And the little time that I did have for myself, I was able to sneak some studying in there. And if you're not sure what I'm studying, well, let me tell you about it. I have decided to enroll in the sex education program with the Sexual Health Alliance. So this is where I'm going to shamelessly promote my Patreon. If you want to support the growth and maintenance of this channel, you can do so by clicking on the link below. And the reason why I say that is because I want to say a big thank you to all my former and current Patreon members for supporting me, because you're not only supporting the channel, but you are supporting my education as well. So I really, really appreciate that. FYI, not all my videos are able to be monetized on YouTube for obvious reasons. So the extra support really, really helps for me to continue creating content. And on the Patreon, I post a lot of exclusive content. I do lives. I engage with you all a lot. And a reminder that there are no nudes on the Patreon. So if you are looking for some sexually graphic content, it is definitely not the place to go. You should seek elsewhere. All right, let's get into today's video, which is about sex edutainment. When I started this channel about 2 years ago, I thought I was just coming on here sharing some relatable sexual experience stories with you all, because I found in the period that I was in then that going online on YouTube and learning about other people's real journeys, real stories, going through certain experiences and so on really helped me navigate my own experiences. So I thought I would give back a bit and do something similar where I would just sit in front of the camera and tell you guys a story about, how I felt, what happened in terms of certain sexual situations that I was in. Also a reminder that sometimes it can be a little bit weird, sometimes it can be a little bit awkward, but that it can also be really fun and playful at the same time. And when you're trying something for the first time, it's totally normal to have questions, to feel a bit awkward and so on. That was that. And then I started to receive a lot of messages, of people thanking me, saying, thank you for being so open. Thank you for sharing your story, them sharing similar stories, thoughts, concerns, emotions, and so on. And they were really nice messages. There were also a lot of slut-shaming messages, but there are always going to be slut-shaming messages. Anyways, it made me quickly realize just how much people are interested in other people's sexual stories or experiences or whatnot. I actually did a video a few months ago on why people like sex stories so much, because when I look at my analytics, some of the top search terms are real life sex stories, human sex stories with real people, and so on. Like, these people ain't going on Pornhub to look up stuff. They're on YouTube because they're looking for some real life stories. I don't know if they're looking for these stories to sexually gratify themselves, or if they're looking for stories to learn something, to relate or whatnot. Actually, a lot of the feedback that I got from my audience members was mostly that it was to learn about new things, to try by themselves or with their partner, and just, out of curiosity and see what's out there. And a lot of them were also asking a lot of questions that I thought were pretty common sense type of questions that like everybody kind of knows the answer to. Anyways, all of that made me realize just how important and valuable the work is that I'm doing. So I decided to embark on this role that I have online of sex edutainment, and I decided to continue some professional development in the sex education space. Now, I don't think I want to become a therapist or a coach or anything like that. I don't really feel that comfortable giving people really direct advice. I feel like that is way too much responsibility. I just really want to pass on the information that I learned in a easily digestible way. Now, for sure, I have imposter syndrome most of the time. And I often think to myself, oh, I'm kind of late on the sex ed train. Like, this has been talked about so much. You know, you're making videos about this. It's already been done, been there, done that. No one cares, and so on. And then the more that I study sex education, the more I realize that, nope, this is definitely not talked about enough. You can never have too many videos on threesomes, on the way your pussy smells, on breast size, penis size, orgasms, I don't know. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And the internet is key for accessing sexual health education, mostly because of its anonymity. I know I'm not saying that properly because I can never say this word properly. Anonymity, I think I said that right. Anonymity, informality, and interactivity. So you can go on the internet and ask questions about all the weird shit that you've been wondering about without anybody ever knowing. And also what I've learned is that sex education is still mostly focused on risk and prevention, talking about STIs, talking about unwanted pregnancy, and really not focusing on pleasure or fun or happiness. How sex brings people pleasure, how sex brings people closer together, how you can incorporate play into sex, how it can make you happy, all the benefits of sex. All that stuff is totally ignored in sex education. So the type of sex ed that's still offered in the United States is mostly fear-based. Now, if you look at all my comments, considering the majority of my audience is from the United States, you would see that this fear-based model is clearly still working, because when you look at the number of times that people are concerned about STIs and going to hell and the devil, they're afraid. The fear is definitely there. It is ingrained in them. But this is just a reality check, people. The world is much bigger than North America. There is a whole world out there that exists outside of you, and there are many other sex and relationship customs and cultures that you are definitely not aware of, that I am definitely not aware of, and hopefully we could discover all those things on this channel together. We need more evidence-based sex education that focuses on pleasure and happiness, and this is the kind of stuff that I want to share with you guys. Now, I am not a role model or a saint or a know-it-all. Lord knows I have engaged in some questionable behavior over the years. I think a fairly good amount of unhealthy, questionable behavior that I have definitely learned from over the years. I don't want to come at you with a know-it-all attitude. I don't want to come at you telling you what to do. All I can do is share my personal experiences with you, and also share all the cool things that I am learning with you, and you can decide what to do with it on your own. Yes, I might upset some people. Yes, I might offend some people. Yes, I might say the wrong thing because I'm still learning what language to use. And if that happens, I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry, but I know that I can't make everybody happy. And this is just the reality of putting yourself online on the internet like this. So according to a study done in 2021, the sex edutainment niche on YouTube is still relatively small, which made me a little bit happy. Sex education in many places around the world has been disrupted and weakened by ongoing fears and concerns about the moral safety for our young people. Now, I know most of my audience are not young, okay? They're in the older age range, but we have to keep in mind that our sex education was also shaped on that model, including my own. Because of this, protective rules and ideas have prevented young people and people like us from getting the sex education that we need. So young, old, wherever you fall on the spectrum, who wish to educate themselves have been going towards social media, including YouTube, as alternative means to consuming and sharing information and education about sex, relationships, and so on. I mean, Lord, I was never taught how to have an orgasm. I didn't know that I needed clitoral stimulation to have an orgasm. I always thought an orgasm was like P in the V action. Okay, that's how I thought I was gonna orgasm. Nobody ever told me otherwise. Okay, how fucked up is that? In the study that I mentioned, they found that YouTube sex edutainment content creators utilize techniques such as using informal language, direct address to camera, just like what I'm doing with you guys right now, delivered by friendly and engaging content creators who act as the cool older friend discussing sex and relationship things without feeling embarrassed. I guess that's kind of like me, although I don't really like the influencer term, but that's another thing. I'm not an influencer. Anyways, and that they usually cover topics that aren't in class, or even topics that you don't really talk about with your friends, family, or even partners. So this study was very reaffirming for me because as I read it, I said, okay, Allie, you know what? You're sort of onto something right now. You're basically doing what these researchers found to be very effective. So I was like, yes, 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 continue doing whatever it is that you are doing. And this is a very interesting quote. I'm gonna read this from the article because I thought it was very interesting. So they say that the internet represents a mix of everything, offering easy access to both pro-medical and anti-medical views on sex, along with various non-medical sexual theories and therapies. This has leveled the playing field, putting alternative sex practitioners and sex toy store owners on the same level as doctors and other experts. Actually, you know, in a lot of these articles I'm reading, the alternative sex practitioners and the sex toy store owners and others often know a little bit more than the physicians and or medical experts because, again, they're not taught these things in school explicitly. When searching online for sexual advice, enhancement, or entertainment, you can quickly find everything from explicit videos and medical treatments to sex coaching and workshops, all seemingly equal. Back in 2010, YouTube revealed that 35 hours of videos were uploaded every minute. That's crazy. And that number has only skyrocketed since, with a significant portion likely focusing on sexuality. And so that's it, friends. I want to share all the wonderful things that I am learning with you all. So I have decided to start a mailing list and a newsletter. Whether it's gonna be weekly or bi-monthly, I haven't decided yet. It really depends on how my flow goes. So TBD, but I really wanted to start this for two reasons. The first reason is because I went down the YouTube rabbit hole way too deep and saw way too many videos of people, you know, losing their accounts and so on. And the smartest thing you can do is start a mailing list so that you can have direct access to your audience so that you can always be in touch with them. If anything ever happens to your accounts, then you can let them know where they can follow you next. And the other reason is, well, I have a lot of really cool shit to share with you guys. Like I said, I'm learning a lot in sex education and I want to regurgitate that information to you all. I feel like it's my duty to do so, especially since a lot of you are helping me fund my education. The best thing that I can do to give back is to share with you all the interesting, fascinating sexual facts that I am learning. So if you want to keep in touch with me, if you want to support me, if you want to hear about some cool shit, then I suggest you sign up for the newsletter, and I'm excited to get it going. I mean, the first couple ones might, I don't know, you know, it's a test in progress. So you will be my guinea pigs, but you can click on the link below this video to sign up. And again, if you want to support me some more, you could check out my Patreon as well. That's it for this video, guys. Just a little sum up on sex educainment. I can't even talk anymore. Sex edutainment and sex education and how I have come to this point in my life. That's it, I guess. So anyways, stay tuned for other videos. All right, friends, it's nice to be back. This was like my icebreaker video, just like getting in the groove back of filming after this crazy, crazy season. Anyways, as usual, je vous aime. Bye.